ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीवेदव्यास वैशम्पायन याज्ञवल्क्यादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। आद्यशङ्कर सद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ अथ तैत्तिरीयोपनिषत् पारायणम्. We have done one round of Parayanam more. We'll again have to start from beginning. Just enjoy in that present moment of delight, of opportunity and involvement of chanting this great literature, Upanishads. ॐ अथ प्रथमोऽनुभागः प्रथमावल्ली शान्तिमन्त्र। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः। सह नौ यशः सह नौ ब्रह्मवर्चसम् अथा तत्संहिताया उपनिषदं व्याख्यास्यामः। पञ्चस्वधिकरणेषु अधिलोकमधिज्यौतिषमधिविद्यमधिप्रजमध्यात्मं तामहासंहिता इत्याचक्षते। अथाधिलोकं पृथिवीपूर्वरूपं द्यौरुत्तररूपम् आकाशस्सन्धिः वायुस्सन्धानम् इत्यधिलोकम् अथादिज्यौतिषम् अग्निः पूर्वरूपम् आदित्य उत्तररूपम् आपस्सन्धिः वैद्युतस्सन्धानम् इत्यधिज्यौतिषम् अथाधिविद्यम् आचार्यः पूर्वरूपम् अन्तेवास्युत्तररूपम् विद्यासन्धिः प्रवचनगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिविद्यम् अथाधिप्रजम् माता पूर्वरूपम् पितोत्तररूपम् प्रजासन्धिः प्रजननगं सन्धानम् इत्यधिप्रजम् अथाध्यात्मम् अधराहनु पूर्वरूपम् उत्तराहनुरुत्तररूपम् वाक्सन्धिः जिह्वासन्धानम् इत्यध्यात्मम् इति मामः संहिताः। य एवमेतामः संहिता व्याख्याता वेद सन्धीयते प्रजया पशुभिः ब्रह्मवर्चसेनान्नाद्येन सुवर्गेण लोकेन। यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया विहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय आवहन्ते वितन्वाना कुर्वाणा चीरमात्मनः वासागंसि मम गावश्च अन्नपाने च सर्वदा ततो मे श्रियमावह लोमशां पशुभिः सह स्वाहा आमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा विमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा प्रमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा दमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा शमायन्तु ब्रह्मचारिणः स्वाहा यशोजने सानि स्वाहा श्रेयान्वस्य सोऽसानि स्वाहा तन्त्वाभगप्रविशानि स्वाहा समाभगप्रविश स्वाहा तस्मिन् सहस्रशाखे निभगाहन्त्वयि वृजे स्वाहा यथापः प्रवतायन्ते यथा मासा अहर्जरम् एवं मां ब्रह्मचारिणः धातरायन्तु सर्वतः स्वाहा प्रतिवेशोऽसि प्रमाभाहि प्रमापद्यस्व ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ कृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ अथ प्रथमा शिक्षा वल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Salutations to the entire Rishimuni Guru Parampara. Om Shri Vedavyasa Sadgurave Namaha, Vaishampayana Sadgurave Namaha, Yagnavalkya Sadgurave Namaha, Adya Shankara Sadgurave Namaha, Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. There are some type of people who depend on the Lord and they themselves don't do anything. There are other type of people who take up everything on their head and do it in such a way that there is nobody other than him. Both are half correct. The complete correctness is in life, whether it is for the outer achievement or the inner achievement, there is a part or the portion where we have to play, and there is also a part and the portion where the divine will play. The missing point is we always think that we need to tell the divine, and we always think that nobody should tell us. The fact is what? We should be reminded about our duties and sadhanas, and we need not remind the Lord of His work because He is the Lord. His way of function is always reciprocating to what we do. Therefore, as a tradition, as a Shastra saying thing, we should always pray to the Lord. Please bless, O Bhagavan. But it should not be in taking us into a wrong misunderstanding that we have nothing to do. In fact, we have a lot of things to do. And those things, when we thoroughly know and do, and thus fulfill what is to be done from our side, then from the divine side, you need not even pray, thing will automatically happen. That very thin demarcation line. Those who doesn't know that, they just escape what they have to do on the name of praying to the Lord. This Maya we have to conquer. In other words, in the world outside also, in the world spiritual also, there's definitely something or a lot of things for us to be done. We have to recognize and do. For that only the proofs of all the Brahmadi Devatas, Vishnuadi Devatas, Indradi Devata, none of them are saying that let the God do, we will relax. None of the great Sant Mahatmas have said कि उन्होंने सब कुछ किया हमने कुछ नहीं किया या हमें कुछ करना नहीं पड़ा. Out of the devotion surrender they said. But if you look into the past history of any field, spiritual or non, individuals had to work. Bhagavan Rama, there are so many Vanaras, they have done their work, but he had to do his own work. Lord Krishna, many helped him, the Pandavas, the Yadavas, but उनको अपना काम करना पड़ा. Is it not the mother? When she had to eliminate the devils, others helped, but she also had to do her work. Any of the Mahatmas, like Gurudev. So many of the people, devotees, members, helped him, but he had to do his own work. Where is the place where we can escape our responsibility? Nowhere. After knowing this, then very clear conviction that it is my life, I have to take it into my hands as challenge, and I have to do the outer arrangements and adjustments, inner arrangements, adjustments and sadhanas. Of course, after this conviction, then from whatever the source we need the help, we seek that help. Whether it is managing our finances, whether it is our physical health, more importantly, when we come to the Adhyatmika Marga, whatever the doubts are there, whatever the despairs are there, whatever the inhibitions are there, hesitations are there, whatever the fears are there, lack of confidences are there, these are the ones which pull us away from spirituality. We have to change them and make them positive. And then the next level may, whatever the lazinesses are there, whatever the distractions are there, whatever the non-concentrations are there, whatever the impurities are there, whatever the grossnesses are there in me, it is me who will have to replace them all by all the positive. Like how long I should be gross life? When will I enter into my subtle life? It is me who has to think and try to. So, how long I just get carried away by the outer world like any other ordinary person? Even though I am studying Shastra, I am trying to know the truth. When will I become introverted? And then, how long I will just be carried away by the opinions of people? Whether it is about their worldly opinion, about opinions of the spiritual life, do I know? Don't I know it by myself? And how can I trust the opinion of people on anything? They only give information. You can't trust their opinion. Information is okay. Opinion, how can they? Don't you have your own discretion? Higher authority have more understanding. Like any news reporter tells anything on anything. How can you trust? What is their background? What is their alliance with which party? Or what are their selfishnesses? What are their either narrow minds or insufficiencies? How can you take it for granted that what they say is right? Because 10 people say in 10 ways. They are not realized saints that they have Trikalagna and they know the truth and they speak from that standpoint. You only gather information, cannot trust anybody's opinion. In the same way, how can anybody tell me about what is spirituality and whether it is required or not? मेरा दिमाग कहाँ गया? Should I not become pakka for my own sadhana? Ki these are the things to be done, etc. So this is how at every place am I fulfilling my responsibilities in my own evolution in sadhana. A question should 24 hours be there with us. Then comes little subtler level. Then where do I stay? Where do I have to reach to the next step? For that, what has to be done? In fact, if we search like this, what do we find is Even though we claim to be under the feet of Guru and in the satsanga or spiritual sadhana, even the first step of Vivek also, forget about doing. Not even we have thoroughly understood the definition and meaning of it. And what is the necessity of it as the first step in the course of spiritual evolution. अगर पूछा जाए इसका भी क्लैरिटी हमको नहीं है और इसका क्लैरिटी द गुरु द लॉर्ड हैज गिवन अस 1000 times. They have fulfilled their responsibility. But did we apply ourselves in thinking, in trying to understand? See, when the first step is not done, now the comes second one, Vairagyam. How many times we heard about it? But did we think about what it means? What is the need of it in our life, especially spiritual? If yes, how quickly I have to become the detached Vairagi for my subsequent sadhana? Then only the Shavadamadhi, no? So, means what? Either we are on the name of devotion to the Lord or neglecting our responsibility, or we are childish and immature in our life, imagining that something will happen automatically, or we may be in a laziness, not at all thinking that I have to do something. Not only I have to do something, I have to do many things and I have to do everything. From my side, whatever I have to do. That way, whether it is Veda mantra ucharana with swara, whether it is knowing the meaning of every pada of the mantras, whether it is knowing the entire sentence meaning, who will tell? Others will tell, but we will have to know. I have to know. Don't I have my responsibility of my efforts to know that? In the same way, any of the Adhyatmic sadhana. Is it not? And all complaints are from within only, no? Then solution also has to be from within. Then outer people give you ideas. You take them and solve yourself. Like I am extremely lazy. It is my subjective problem. How does it has anything to do with anybody around? I have to know it that I am a victim of my laziness. Totally I may not be able to eliminate, but how much I am putting conscious effort? क्या कारण है कि मैं लेजी हूँ कैसे उसको निकाल दें हाउ टू बिकम एक्टिव how am I wasting my time or how I am disturbed in my mind. The silsila which I started when I was at the age of 10 years. Now I am at the 90 years, 80 years, still I am continuing to get disturbed in my mind because of the people, because of the things, because of the situation. Please remember, for our sake, the world will not stop disturbing us. It will have its own way of going. No world will stop for us. But what did we do from such a long period of time? If you think understanding is, we were only led by a blind person walking in a blind path, not knowing what to do, what to achieve, what to achieve. Even now we are. Not even we conquered our own some of the indriyas, even for some extent. Consciously. अपने आप हो रहा है तो हो रहा है. बट खुद मेरे को करना है करके करना. I have to do with the idea, I have to do. If you have done it, the joy of doing is more than the joy of result. That personality is different, where is enjoying the doing. When you do it, definitely the result will come. And if we had used our all these areas, the result would have been different. Completely we have to take charge and कैसा नहीं हो सकता है मैं कर कर दिखाऊंगा this type of inspiration if it is not there then will always be a mediocre person depending on somebody or the other external and waiting for a convenient occasion. It never happens. No, the Prahlada, the Dhruva went himself as a small child, did his own tapasya. Any sadhaka became great only because he took charge of every aspect. Is it not Parikshit? He did that Prayopavesham. He only sought the answer to his questions from his Guru Shukadev ji. The Jadavarta, he himself was conscious about his own need of sadhana. Even the latest story of Pururava. It is he who took everything into the account and restarted analyzing and understood where he went wrong and what's right. So today's thought is what? If we are vague, dila dala in our initiative and effort of our own parishrama, we have to come back. We have to come to the basic point that whether it is outer worldly happenings or affairs or activities, whether it is spiritual, the main hero in my life is me. And this hero has to perform in any movie. If the hero doesn't perform anything, उसको hero कहते हैं क्या? Throughout the movie, the audience would be looking for the hero to arrive and then perform. In our life, did the hero come? He's zero only. Hero is there sometime for bhoga, for claiming something without doing anything. No, 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 no. The subtle, sublime hero, where he's taking initiative at every step and doing the thing for himself. While doing, naturally, you need the help of, you can't do everything by yourself, you are taking it. That much heroism or the effort or initiative we take for any of the bhoga of the world, even 10-15% if we can take for our spiritual sadhana, I think definitely we proceed further. And what is the procedure? Proceeding further in spirituality is knowing exactly what is the goal and knowing exactly what is sadhana and even start to do. And after heard so much, the exact goal is only Paramatma Anubhuti. And he is inside. And to know him inside, we have to clear our outer things and prepare outside. Then clear our inner things, prepare inside. In this marga, we should have already crossed a lot of distance. Never mind, better late than never. Today we'll take that challenge. At everything, it is my responsibility. Let me fulfill. Then I pray to God. मुझे जो करना है भगवान, I have done it, the reports in front of you. Now the ball is in your court. मारोगे या तारोगे आपके हाथ में है, मुझे जो करना है मैंने कर दिया. That's called the audacity at every level. It is me. That is, I will have to go to the Guru. He will have to accept the Guru and his discipline. And he will have to, at every cost of sacrifice and the effort, has to do whatever the Guru tells him to do, sadhanas. कहते हैं गुरु करना हमको है. Then when the Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya time comes, even at that time also. And in this world, in any field, those who have that way worked hard, alone excelled for themselves and contributed for the world. And those who are in the vagueness regarding this aspect, remember, with all opportunities, with all abilities and talents, they just remained at the lowest level. And the best example is you and me. So much of abilities, talents, opportunities we have, but never grown because we are in a semi tamoguna vagueness of कि अपने आप कुछ होता रहेगा शायद, चलो इंतजार करेंगे कल के लिए. ऐसा नहीं होता. हमको आज अब क्या करना है ये जानकर करना है. Today at this moment what I should do, if somebody is very clear about it and does accordingly toward the goal truth, he alone is Sita. That we have to gain, that alertness we have to gain. Like I am doing my class now. After this what? After this what? And is all this in line with my sadhana, my goal? And at every week also reassessing. Ki, am I doing correct? Consult the Shastra, consult Guru, and recheck whether right on the right path or not. Any that if the track has to be changed, the route has to be changed, we should. Enough of your japa, now start contemplating. If the Guru says you should do, नहीं जिंदगी भर करते रहेंगे और दूसरे के लिए टाइम ही नहीं है. ओके इफ द जपा आर यू डूइंग इफेक्टिवली वो भी नहीं, इट्स ओनली मैकेनिकल. है ना. 20 साल से उपासना पूजा कर रहा हूँ, कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ा. नो यू हैव टू आस्क क्यों फर्क नहीं पड़ा, क्या फर्क पड़ना चाहिए. यू मेट हैव नॉट अटेंडेड प्रॉपरली द पूजा विद श्रद्धा एंड ऑल. इसलिए जैसा शुरू किए करने के टाइम थे अभी भी ऐसे है तो क्या फर्क, क्या फायदा उसका. सो दिस इज हाउ we have to slowly that way grow in our strong responsibility in the initiative. Then comes the hardships to conquer which we take the help of Paramatma and our own willpowers, our own convictions, more importantly, our own commitments. I tell you, I am committed to know the truth by all means, and I will do whatever sadhana required. और जिस दिन ऐसा बात बनता है and it becomes practical, then the distance crossing is never difficult. The Lord will be very in vicinity. You can just go and see Him. Those commitments from within, those courages from within, those willpowers from within, those readinesses to face the hardships or difficulties, those readinesses for sacrifice. कहाँ क्या कर रहे हैं अपन? जस्ट क्लास में आएंगे जाएंगे, इतना ही हो रहा है मेरे लिए तो. यू मस्ट बी डूइंग ऑलमोस्ट, यू माइट हैव रीच ब्रह्म तत्व, मैंने नहीं पता. Anyone, when you don't come to class, I am always afraid and jealous. क्या इनको ब्रह्म तो नहीं मिला, मेरे को तो मिला ही नहीं. Then the next day when I see in the class, I feel so comfortable. You have not gone. Let us travel together. So, initiative with the idea that I have to do a lot for my evolution. In that, these are the things to be done. And the entire, our Taittiriya Upanishad is exhaustively talking about it. It is Shanna Mitra, Siksha, Vyakya, Syamaha, or Samhita Upanishad, Medha Devi, or Ahavanti Nibitan Mana, or Bhurva Swaritiva, Etas Tisro Vyahrataya, जिसने जितना किया उसको उतना. जैसे कहावत इन तेलुगु, చేసుకున్నంత వాడికి చేసుకున్నంత. The one who has done जितना उनको उतना. पाप हो तो पाप, पुण्य हो तो पुण्य, साधना है तो साधना. जितना किया उतना मिलेगा, नहीं किया नहीं मिलेगा, और जो गलत किया उसका वही फल मिलेगा. दिस इज हाउ इट इज. ओके, सो नाउ वी आर equipped with the Vyahrati Upasana of convincing ourselves about the presence of the fourth, which is the support and substratum of the three. This is what the essence of the Antaha Vyahrati Upasana. Like that, wherever any experience, always we must know the experience is always the amalgamation of the three things: experiencer, experiencer, experiencing. Always behind those three, there's a fourth is there, that is Maha. And in the wholesale way, the Maha behind all the triputis we attend to is one. That is called as Brahma. And that Brahma ultimately has to be experienced as what? What? Atma. That is called final realization. Then this Maha, this Brahma, this Atma, how to do his Upasana and where he is available. And who will do this? Only the one when he has re-hypnotized himself from valuing the Bhurvasva and understood the importance of Maha. Just like if I know importance of my parents, I will incline in my devotion to them, not to anybody. Because pata chala na. So too, if I know it is Maha, because of which Bhurvasva are there, and that Maha is Brahma, and that has to be recognized in Atma, I will be interested only in that. I should be rather interested in that. If I am not interested in this, means I still have not understood about the lesser value of Bhurvasva and the higher value of Maha. Therefore, I am again interested in Bhurvasva. Put it in any way. You call it as Stula Sukshma Karana Drishti. No more you can attend any Stula Sukshma Karana. You have to attend the cause of all these three. Or no more attending the external and internal. We have to attend to that which is substratum for both external and internal. So too we can't attend to any more of the Triputi. We have to only attend to the substratum of the Triputi. For that only this Upasana is there. In the Upasana, see, Chandramasa Vava Sarvani Jyoti Gimshi Mahiyante. That is the crux of the sentence. So to Annena Vava Sarve Prana Mahiyante, Brahmana Vava Sarve Veda Mahiyante. You understand that? Adityan Vava Sarve Loka Mahiyante. What is the meaning of that sentence? It is he who is important, not this. And in life also, what is important, what is non-important, and for what purpose. This also is a maturity. Otherwise, all non-important, non-essentials are given so much importance. In the bargain, the important is gone. It is such a simple looking thing, but how much it causes losses, if I tell you, you'll be surprised. For a small little of cup of tea or coffee or small little things, how much of the precious, valuable time of the life we waste every day? Because we don't know what is important. The one who doesn't know what is important in life is a bacha hai wo. Is an immature child. We are living life of immaturity, childishness only. 10 मिनट और सो जाए, not 10 मिनट और भजन किया जाए या ध्यान किया जाए. That is childishness. It's the children who say, let me play more, let me eat more, let me sleep more. The sign of maturity is let me work more, let me achieve more. That much importance किसको क्या देना है नहीं पता हमको. We have not even learned the art of giving to importance to the health of the body. If that is done, we will not run to the doctor every day. We don't suffer at the body level every day. After disease comes, then we give importance to it for the health so that we can continue doing that thing because of which the disease came, called as indulgence. समझ लो? So, the fourth Vyahati is important. Convinced. Then that has to be understood, experienced. Understanding is done at two levels, that it is Mahata and it is Brahma. Now the experience has to come. And the only and correct experience of it is that it is Atma. Now where is that one? How to reach out? So its Upalabdhi Sthanam should be required, known, and its Upasana should be known. Upasana is diligent efforts to near to it. Okay. Now this upasana में सब साधनाएं आते हैं. The word used is upasana is it includes everything. Your meditation, all of that. Now in that also, let me tell you in the beginning only. There are three levels of this sadhana. One is internally what we do within, as long as we are alive. Second may this doing of ours as long as we are alive. When it is in line with the absolute truth. What will happen is, in continuation of this, the next life we are given opportunity. Then there also become aware, though which is not in our hands now. Then from there we go to the next and next stages. At a very higher level of sadhana, achieved in this life, not yet realized, but very high level sadhana done, then be attentive. He can choose the next occasion or the next opportunity, that facility is given to him and he can from there go ahead. You and I have no choice because you have done so many papa punya and not sadhana. Therefore, choicelessly according to papa punya, we are thrown into situations, circumstances. But the one who is pursuing this sadhana, which we are going to study, he is aware. And in that awareness, he himself chooses the next. That facility is given to him. He cannot cut short the path. Whatever the distance has to be covered, path has to be walked, that only he'll walk, but he'll have a choice. That means the jiva or I, the sadhaka, can increase our consciousness level to such a level that in this life, consciously what to do, I am doing. And from here on, what is next? Consciously I am able to go. Consciously. एक तो those absolutely lazy fellows whom the Lord decides where to put him in the next life. This other one, the jiva inside has done the sadhana and he deserves and he goes. The third one is what? There is a choice itself. Okay, what's next and where to reach out. That is how it is there. Now, we will see this sixth Anuvaka where the Upalabdhisthana of this Maha Brahma Atma is started to be given. तो पहले उनको वहां समझकर प्रैक्टिस करते हुए then we have to reach slowly to the next and next and next levels. And how to do also is said. We will try to see it. Now, yesterday we saw the Anubandha Sambandha Bhashya. We'll just read it out for once, all of us. Then we chant the mantra, then we'll see the meaning and Bhashya. Om Avatarika. Bhur Bhuvas Suvaswarupaha Maha iti etasya Vyahrutatmanaha Brahmana Angani Anyaha Devataha iti uktam. तो यस्य ताः अंगभूताः तस्य एतस्य ब्रह्मणः साक्षात् उपलब्ध्यर्थं फॉर दैट उपासनार्थं च हृदय आकाशः स्थानम् उच्यते. That Brahma to whom all the other three are only the angas. Okay. To experience that Brahma or Mahat or the Atma, the Upalabdhi Sthanam Akasham Uchyate. Just like Salagrama Iva Vishnu. For the achievement of Vishnu for us, the Upalabdhisthana given is Vishnu, Shaligrama, for us to do the Upasana on the Shaligrama. Always remember, the goal is Vishnu. Vishnu is all pervading. Either you have to experience him as all pervading or have darshana. But where do you start from? From the Shaligrama. What is the attention here? Very important. The drishti is on Shaligrama while doing Upasana. All the Abhishekam, Alankaram we do. But understanding is, are we doing it to the stone? We are doing to Vishnu only. By this, what is happening? Slowly, the importance value to the Shaligrama that it is Vishnu only grows. When it grows, the attention in us shifts, though we are seeing the Shaligrama to Vishnu. Where is the change expected to happen? In me. So what others see a stone. What I started seeing a Shaligrama. Then through my Upasana, what I developed myself to see in that, my Lord Vishnu. Clear? After the practice, the Shaligrama should be Vishnu only for me. That Vishnu is everywhere again. That Vishnu is there with Shankara Gada Padma also. Now, with this practice of stone as Vishnu Murti, then when I do the practice of that same Vishnu, either in the Virat Rupa form or Sarvavyaka Parabrahma Rupa form, or I look at him in my own Hridaya as the Shankara Gada Padma, that vision will be revealed. इतना अर्थ क्या है ना, विष्णु इज देयर इन ब्रह्म रूप, विष्णु इज देयर सर्वव्यापक रूप, विष्णु इज देयर दी क्षीरसागर शेषशाही रूप, विष्णु इज देयर इन शालिग्राम रूप. We have to train ourselves to develop the vision of seeing Vishnu in each of these levels. Vishnu is not created with our upasana, he is already there. With our upasana, we prepare ourselves to see. Now, what the reason for which the rishis, gurus have given this upasana paddhati of Shaligrama, we have to catch it. I am seeing the stone, which is commonly seen by everyone. I am seeing within that something which is not seen by others with my practice. That it is Bhagavan Vishnu for me, undoubtedly. And if still the stoneness is there in that stone, Shaligrama, even after 20 years of puja, we have not done upasana. That misses, because I am doing upasana to accept this stone as Vishnu. That thought is missing. क्यों? क्योंकि पूजा करो कह रहे हैं, लेकिन किस लिए नहीं कह रहे हैं या हम नहीं सुन रहे. What is the purpose of all that? Seeing the stone but accepting it as Vishnu, because Vishnu only is appearing as stone. That knowledge to come to strong conviction, this practice we have to do. So, where is Vishnu? Sarva Vyapakaha. But to begin with, where is available? Shaligrama Iva Vishnu. So, what is Shaligrama? The Upasana place and Upalabdhi place for us to develop the Vishnu Bhava, to initiate, to practice and to develop the Vishnu Bhava. Now, what is a bhava in us when we see the world? It is a world, it's a reality. All the time, world is real. Not even a trace of Vishnuness is there in us about the world. Again, I am repeating. Not even the trace of Vishnuness is there in our heart about the world. For us, the world is world real. But there's no world. What is there is Vishnu only. Then how to change our understanding and acceptance and practice that it is not the world, it is Vishnu. कहीं तो शुरू करना है ना शालिक. You understand? If this is not known, people only mechanically pour some water, put some pool पुष्प वगैरह, उसके बाद वो नैवेद्य चढ़ा के आरती करके आते हैं. That's very gross. That's very mechanical. A very less of spirituality is there in that. Even if Vishnu comes and says, "Beta, ये stone है, Vishnu नहीं है," yet we have to say that no, it is Vishnu only. That transformation should happen in us. It's very sublime thought I am sharing today. Catch karo. And it happens little bit as bhavanatmakata, not a bharpur shraddha. Bhavanatmakata means one, many other stones also are there at home with which you hit each other, wife and husband. Though you don't consider as Vishnu. But this through some bhavana of some days of puja, you feel it. But that's not enough. Undoubtedly, he is a Vishnu whom I am doing all the upasana. He is receiving seated in that. That Shraddha should grow. Later on, then everywhere Vishnu. And mind you, while doing that upasana, along with practicing oneself that this stone is Vishnu only, if you want his darshan, you add that sankalpa. Bhagavan, I want your Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Sankalpa Rupa Darshana. If you don't want it and if you don't do upasana like that, he will not come. यो यत श्रद्धा स एव सह. हर हमको किसी ने कहा ही नहीं आज तक, अब तुमने पूछा भी नहीं, तू करते जा रहे हो एज इफ यू नो एवरीथिंग. Did we any time till now in our puja room ask the Lord, please give me darshan do Ghanshyamnath Moria? क्या प्यासी ने? ने मांगा ही नहीं, हमको नहीं पड़ी तो उनको क्यों पड़ेगा? Remember, truth is there. Truth is revealed, definitely. But the third sentence is important. What is that? When you seek it, then only it will be revealed. It is there very much. It will be revealed, but we have to seek it. आप पूजा कर ही जा रहे हैं विष्णु मूर्ति का, हाँ? तो कभी माना ही नहीं कि ये शंख चक्र गदाधारी इस रूप में है और मुझे उस रूप में दर्शन मिलना है. Along with that, all other. It will not stop at this level. It is a beginning, very important beginning, but should not stop at that level. What is the beginning? This stone is my own Lord Vishnu, and I am doing upasana to him. You have to add other things. This Vishnu is protector of me. This Vishnu is a guidance to me. This Vishnu should take care of me throughout my day. This Vishnu should see to it that whatever the undertaking I take up, they should be righteous. Let Vishnu make this righteous undertaking of mine be successful. हर इस तरह से उनके साथ वार्तालाप करो, डिस्कस करो. नहीं तो you yourself are not aware. How can you expect him to be aware? After it's our zindagi, no? That's why today's introduction class, it is we who have to take initiative for our evolution because we are feeling bonded or bound or bondage. It's our bondage. We are all, see, you do the puja to Vishnu, but no faith in him that he can sort out our health issues, financial issues. If you have it very tentatively, vaguely, and doubtly, with the doubt, as the example for that is how light, how tentative, vague, and full doubt के साथ आप आपके गुरु के साथ हो. That is a proof equally we are with the God. An example. याद आता ही नहीं गुरु, उनके शक्ति के ऊपर हमको विश्वास है ही नहीं है. वी डोंट टेक सलाह मशवरा तो लेते नहीं उनसे. बट वी से इज माय गुरु. So do with parents. We claim they are parents. But our own approach toward them through devotion and surrender, and then seeking from them what is required. How vaguely we do that, then how can they help us? How can the Guru help unless we seek? So too, in the you do 20 साल ये पत्थर के रूप में पूजा कर रहे हैं, वो पत्थर ही रहेगा. ये लिविंग जीता जागता भगवान है, सर्वव्यापक. मेरे लिए ही इज देयर इन द फॉर्म. आई एम वर्शिपिंग एवरी डे, इज रिसीविंग इट. ही शुड बी देयर विथ मी, ही विल बी देयर विथ मी, ही अलोन इज देयर विथ मी. दिस चेंज इन आवर एक्सपीरियंस इज कॉल्ड उपासना. I'm just explaining you the example given by Bhagwan Shankara. He Vishalagrama Vishnoho. Just like to approach Vishnu, the Shaligrama is the point of attention as well as point of upasana. Upalabdhisthana, upasana sthana. Clear? Salagrama Vishnoho. So, in the same way, that Brahman, now we are coming to our talk, our subject. That Brahman who is said to be the Angi, of whom the entire Vyahrutis are said to be Anga, we have to find. And for him, the Hrudaya Akasha is the Sthanam indicated, like the Shaligrama is indicated for the Vishnu Prapti. Again, I am reading for you. Reading. Yasyataha Angabhutaha. That Brahma to whom all these Vyahrutis are Anga. Vyahruti means 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. 4. Or 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. All the 4. Chara Chara Sab. Because in the first mantra it is said as Brahma. But in the second, third, fourth, the examples, the fourth Mahat is said as Adityena Vava Sarve, Chandramasa Vava Sarve, Annena Vava Sarve. So they are also the fourth Vyahrutis like Maha. So 4 into 4 into 4 into 4. All the 16 Vyahruti. This Brahma ke Anga hai. तस्य एतस्य ब्रह्मणः यस्यतः अंगभूताः तस्य एतस्य ब्रह्मणः साक्षात् उपलब्ध्यर्थम. Underline this word. For experiencing him, the साक्षात्कार रूप. साक्षात् उपलब्ध्यर्थम and also upasanartham. That upalabdhi sthana, upasana paddhati have to be told. The sthana told is Hrudaya Akasha sthanam uchyate. Example of Salagrabha iva Vishnoho. Now the next sentence is little subtler. Be attentively, carefully listening. First I'll chant it and I'll try to put it, because sometimes Bhagwan Shankara, a lamba chauda meaning of so many thoughts, he puts in one sentence. The speaker understands it, but to explain, he needs to manipulate or bring all these sentences and explain. Some of the examples are there in these Bhashyas. So he says, तस्मिन् हि तद्ब्रह्म उपास्यमानं मनोमयत्वादि धर्म विशिष्टं साक्षात् उपलभ्यते पाणौ इव अमलकम्. First by one word. First is what? Tasmin hi. Tasmin means Hrudaya Akashe. Be attentive. We are already started studying. We are into the mantra. Sambandha Bhashya means we have already started. Tasmin he means in the Hrudaya Akasha only. So for reaching Vishnu, Shaligrama is told. And in the coming mantras, for reaching to the Brahma who is the Angi for the Anga, the Hrudaya Akasha is told. Okay. Now in that Hrudaya Akasha only, why? Tasmin hi tad Brahma, in that heart only, that Brahma, upasyamanam. When we seek him there, search him there, look out for him there, what do you say? Try for him there, upasyamanam. He will be available. जहां है वहां ढूंढो तो मिलेगा, हर जगह है, लेकिन शास्त्र के अनुसार उपलब्धि द्वारा इज दिस. प्लीज रिमेंबर अगेन एंड अगेन, प्रेजेंस ऑफ परमात्मा इज एवरीवेयर, नो डाउट, बट वेयर इज उपलब्धि, उनका अवेलेबिलिटी, देयर ओनली वी हैव टू गो. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ऑल टेम्पल्स. द लॉर्ड इज एवरीवेयर, बट फॉर मी, for my accessibility, he is in the temple. Government is every there, but that particular office I go there. Are you understanding the point? So too, tasmin hi tad brahma upasyamanam. When that Brahma is done for finding him, the upasana in the heart. When in the heart you do the upasana of that Brahma, please remember, next sentence is very important. He will be first, should be found as this. Then the next stage. What is the first level of finding Brahma? Is manomayatva dharma vishishtam. First, we have to discover the Brahma, not pure Brahma. Then we should discover the Vishishta Brahma, means the Visheshana Yukta Brahma. And that Visheshana Yukta Brahma, Manomayatvadi, Dharma Vishishtam. मनोमयत्वादि धर्मों से जुड़ा हुआ ब्रह्म को पहले हम अपने हृदय में पकड़ना है. That manomayatwadi dharma vishishta brahma technically is called as jiva. Now be attentive. We are talking today some very important things which we were missing in our study from so many years. The meaning of this is what? By focusing on our heart and trying to search out, we have to discover distinctly presence of an entity. Be attentive. Presence of entity, presence of an entity which has got the manomayadi as its lakshana, which we have named as jiva. Now the next sentence is important. Who is other than, apart from, independent of whatever is there around him, other than that hridaya akasha, in terms of, in the form of, or as called as the mana, as well as indriya, as well as deha. Here the manomaya means the vijnanamaya. Actually it will come in the bhashya of the next mantra. We see इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ कि like I am having deha, I am living with the deha, and I am having my pranas and indriyas. I am working through them also. I have the mana, through the mana also I am working. Now when I am saying I am working through them, who is that I am? That I am has two stages. The second stage is pure Parabrahma. Before that, he is a Jiva. And that what is that Jiva? Manomaya means actually here Vijnanamaya. The Vijnanamaya, the Vishishta Brahma. Means inside heart, we have to discover that Jiva who is other than Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya. Then only that Jiva on whom we have to work on for dismantling all the layers which is wearing around him, to purely see him as he is. Means what? Without coming from Deha Bhava, Prana Bhava and Mano Bhava to the Jiva Bhava, we can never inquire and reach to Paramatma. And this Manomayatvadi Vishishta Brahma is what in last 15 days we were studying the Telugu people in the text Druk Drushya Vivekam. What is spoken there as the Chidabhasa Tadatma Yukta Ji Ahamvruti. Now the English people cannot understand because in Telugu mein every day we are studying that. The conscious self, which is all permeating, has expresses as a reflection only in some qualified medium. One of the qualified medium or the qualified medium is Antakarana. In the Antakarana, there is one thing called Aham Vritti. In that Aham Vritti, the Paramatma's Chaitanya expresses as the Chetana, knowingness. So that's called Chaya. That's called reflection of Paramatma. That's called Chit Abhasa technically. So चित्त का आभास अहम वृत्ति में होता है. Point 1. 2. With that chidavasa, not chitta, with that chidavasa, that aham gets identified. He becomes chidavasa yukta aham. So the I thought illumined with the reflected consciousness. The I thought illuminated with the reflected consciousness. What is the reflection of consciousness there? Not like the in front of the mirror I stand, mirror reflects my face. No. Yet the reflection is the, the expression of consciousness at that point as knowingness. Remember, electricity reflects as a light in the filament. You have to be very importantly pausing here to understand. Without electricity behind, the filament will not glow. In the electricity, there is no light or glow. Glow. But what is happening at that point of filament? Electricity, without itself going through any modification, reflecting as the light. If you can focus on this thought deeply and understand, then to a great extent, what is meditation, what is the jiva, what is self, we start understanding, apprehending. In the wire or electricity, is there a glow? No. Can the filament glow independent of electricity? No. So, as if there is no glow at all in the electricity, how come the light is coming at the point of filament? The answer is it is the special quality of the filament which, without doing any change or modification in the electricity, is manifesting the light there. So, what is the position of the light there? The position of light is the reflection of electricity at the point called as filament. Reflection of the light at the point of filament is called as that glow. Reflection of electricity, sorry. So इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का रिफ्लेक्शन उस फिलामेंट में लाइट के रूप में है. So too the सर्वव्यापक परमात्मा gets reflected at the I thought as the Chidabhasa whose capacity is to know. Be attentive. That reflected consciousness identified Aham Vritti, which our Telugu people have studied. They come together like the iron ball burning. You know, when the fire and the iron ball are brought together for a sufficient period of time, how they come together in their mutual superimposing qualities. The heat and fire of the burning effect of the fire and the weight and the round shape of the iron, they come together to put in front of us a peculiar object, which is the red hot iron ball. The iron's weight, the iron's roundness is brought from the iron, not the blackness and coldness of the iron. So too, the hotness of the fire as well as the redness of the fire has come from the fire. Together, a peculiar object which is temporary. Only the conditional expression it is. If you leave it taking away from the fire, after some time, the fire of the iron ball goes to itself, then the black iron remains there. That विवेक करके इन दोनों को अलग करके तत्व को जानना साधना. Now the reality, now Telugu people also please listen. Reality therefore is neither the ahamvrutti nor the Chidabhasa. What is then? That ahamvrutti and Chidabhasa together as jiva, making their presence predominant in life, because of which we are not able to apprehend the Brahma which is other than both of them. On him we have to work out. First, the चिदाभास युक्त जीव को हमें पहचानना है. फिर वहां से, as the meditation will be taught, we will slowly dismantle the aham vritti, and therefore the chidabhasa is no more. Then what is there? The Brahma that is apprehended. So here manomayatva dharma vishishtam is the most important thing, not only in the context of the development of subject, but in our own adhyatmika sadhana. If put it this way, most important way, somebody other than deha, other than prana, other than mana is jiva. We have to reach to that point. That's called the first and most important stage of meditation. And where is he? He is in the heart. And how do we reach to him in the heart? Only, obviously, only when we transcend our living as well as identification at the level of Sthula Deha, Pranamaya and Manomaya, at least on the seat of meditation. Once you come on to Vyavahara, you have to do Vyavahara only with these upadhis, you can't avoid. बट ध्यान में यहाँ कहा हृदयाकाश में मनोमयत्वादि विशिष्ट ब्रह्म यू हैव टू मेडिटेट it goes without saying that to go to that attention level of attending to the hridayakasha sthita jiva, now let us call him as, naturally our attention from these three has to be withdrawn. No, the attention from these three will be withdrawn only when we are able to de-identify our identification with them. We can de-identify with them only when we have freed ourselves from the slavery to them. And that slavery to them we can free only when we have worked on our vasanas and desires and exhausted them, that there is no need of any of the things of the world to propitiate my Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya. In other words, those who are involving in the outer world of things and beings for the satisfaction of Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, they'll be only at that level. They cannot focus their attention in their own heart on the Vijnanamaya Atma, which is said here as Manomayatvadi Vishishta Brahma. And unless that point we reach, what is the self we cannot trace, which is all pervading otherwise. That is why that is called Upalabdhisthana. And the sadhana also started Upasana. If you have understood it, your understanding should take us to the practical sadhana. What is my whole life there now? Go into the Hridaya Akasha and catch hold of that Manomayatvadi Vishishta Brahma. And then all the Vishesha gunas of him we have to slowly transcend. They are done instantaneously through Kramamukti, or they are done through the process of instantaneously done through the Sadyamukti. Else it can be done through Kramamukti. That is what is this next Anuvaka, sixth Anuvaka is about. What they talk, we are going to discuss about this jiva slowly goes through upper and goes out and merges all of that. Is the Kramamukti Paddhati consciously achieved by a sadhaka when he has reached his attention to the Hridayakasha and found himself there as a jiva, detaching from all his other koshas. He is creating his own path and traveling in that. Creating means path which is already there. He is by his choice traveling in that path. Like at the gross level, I choose the path and walk. यहाँ से उधर कैसे जाना है? Even at the sadhaka level also, he takes into his hand the charge and thus he travels slowly from within to the world around. In his identity will grow. When we explain that, we will be able to relate it. We are only studying the Sambandha Bhashya in continuation of yesterday. So, yasya taha angabhutaha tasya etasya brahmanah sakshat upalabdhyartham upasanartham cha hridaya akashah sthanam uchate. Mind you, this jiva we are discussing inside, within him only is Brahma, who is always everywhere there. Okay, but his upalabdhi sthana is in the heart. So, salagramaya vishnoho. Now, tasmin hi tad brahma upasyamanam. In the heart only, when that Manomayadi Vishishta Brahma, Upasana we do. Upasana means trying to recognize him, trying to identify ourselves with him. I am no more Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Tadatma Purusha. Now I am the Vijnanamaya Sthita Purusha. My journey now, when I am with Deha, my journey, my work was to propitiate Deha. When I am Pranamaya Kosha, my journey was, or my activities were only to propitiate Prana. So too it was with Mana. Now, when I discover my identity with the Vijnanamaya Kosha, now my journey is towards realizing my essential nature. That will follow subsequently. So, tasmin hi tad brahma upasyamanam manomayatvad dharma vishishtam sakshad upalabhyate. Only when you meditate there, you will be able to visualize the Lord Panavya Amalakam as clearly, conspicuously, undoubtedly as amla is in your hand. Amla in your hand is directly available for you. Now, for us, so many years we are studying Upanishad, still where is Brahma, what is Brahma, pata hi nahi. Or he is in your own heart now, usko upalabdhi sthan pata chala. Now, if with this point throughout life, what is our goal now? Reach to our own heart, discover the Manomayatva Dharma Vishishta, that Jiva. After knowing him, then on him the inquiry is set. When the inquiry is set in him, the position of the Jiva and the position of the Ahamvrati, the position of Chidabhasa starts become crystal clear there, which is real, which is unreal, which is Maya Maya, which is conditional. In the inquiry itself, it starts getting dissolved to reveal the truth, which is so sublime that it cannot be objectified, it has to be subjectively experienced. पहले वहां पहुंचो, उनका उपासना करो. What is upasana? Om Jivaya Namaha Namaskaromi. Not that upasana. Identify yourself with that Jiva seated in your heart, transcending your Annapana Manomaya. That is called meditation. That is why in the meditation जब बैठते हैं, फिर पहले ही साधनाएं बाहर के सब करते हुए slowly we have to reach to that हृदय कोहरा. And what is that हृदय? Where is it? मंत्र आएगा, भाष्य आएगा, कोई घबराना नहीं, कोई डिटेल मिस नहीं होगा. So today, so far what is said, कि these three are the these four are the Vyahrutis. They all are the Anga. They are the Anga of the Angi, that Brahma. And that Brahma, the Angi, to discover him, the Hrudaya Sthana is said as Upalabdhi Sthana and Upasana. Why? There only when we do the Upasana of him, there is chance for us obtaining him as just like a amla in the hand. And in recognizing him, there are two stages. First stage is Manomayatwadi Vishishta Dharma Vishishta Brahma ko pehle pakadna hai. Thereafter, all that Vishesha also are dropped, then the pure Nirguna Brahma will be found. This is the meaning of this. Only we have started discussion. Don't jump to conclusion that समझ में नहीं आया. तुरंत नहीं आता हो, धीरे धीरे टॉपिक डेवलप होता है, थोड़ा थोड़ा ही बताना पड़ता है. It cannot be that a lecture बाजी करके चले गए. We are studying together slowly, steadily. So this much is understood in the Hridaya Akasha, Manomayatwadi Vishishta, Dharma Vishishta Brahma, whom we are calling as Jiva. We have to reach to him. He is there. He is to be found there. Mind you, every of our experiences are coming from the heart, going back into the heart only. I, the Jiva, though I am there at every part of my Deha, is it not? Yet in every experience of my Jagrad Avastha, where from he is starting? Is it not? Just like so many Surya Kiranas are coming onto the earth. Don't doubt. We are basking in that sunlight in winter, enjoying. But where they are all coming from? उधर से आ रहे कि नहीं? Surya Kirana. Surya is there. So too in the heart only, that Madhye Vamanamasinam Vishve Deva Upasate is spoken in Kathopanishad about that Vamana only Jiva. Vishwadeva Upasate means what? When that Jiva identifies the totality, then he deserves the Upasana by all the Devatas. That subject we touched a little yesterday. Tomorrow, day after, it will come. In fact, toward the end of this Anuvaka, during the Falashruti, this is the whole topic we will exhaustively discuss. In the same way, example of Surya we gave, example of any torch, यहाँ से शुरू होकर वो अपनी रोशनी हर जगह फैलाती है. So the रोशनी of knowingness which is there at every golaka level of my antakarana or my indriyasu, not antakarana, indriyas. Any indriya, देखो एक कान के पास कुछ आते ही सुनाई देता, आंख के पास कुछ आते ही दिखाई देता, नाक के पास स्मेल हो रहा है. So at all these indriya level, I am seated. Okay. Sitting here, I am perceiving all the perceptions. But my goal is not to perceive the perception to indriyas. My goal is to know who am I. And that I, who is seated here and perceiving, is starting his work from the heart, reach to him. And that reaching you will have, you will be able to only when we detach our going outside through sitting at the senses level. इंद्रियों मतलब है ना कि आप बाहर खिड़की के पास बैठोगे तो अंदर टीवी में कैसे देखोगे? सो खिड़कियों को बंद करके आप अंदर आओ तभी आप वहाँ देख सकते हो। इन सेम वे आई एज ए जीवा am seated now at the pranamaya, annamaya, manomaya khidki and looking at the world outside. Withdrawing from them, when I look within the heart, there I discover my identity first as Chidabhasa Yukta Jiva. That Chidabhasa Yukta Jiva, me, knowingly or unknowingly, wantedly, unwantedly, meaningful or meaninglessly, was identifying with Deha Indriya Mana and completely behaving only as a Deha, as a complete samsara. Now we are tracing back. So who am I first? A worldly person. Second, a person with panchakoshas. Now third, I am a Chidabhasa Yukta Jiva. This is called Upasana. On him we have to work. In him only hidden our essential ultimate nature called as Brahma. Then next one, after discovering him there, then he himself will be de-identifying with this one particular Panchakosha Upadhi, gets identified with the whole universe or is discovered to be the substratum of the entire Panchakosha of the universe. That state is called Sarvatma Bhava. Therefore, the next line is what? Margahacha Sarva Atma Bhava Pratipattaye Vaktavyaha. Therefore, सर्वात्म भाव को पाने के लिए मार्ग भी बताना चाहिए. इति अनुवाक आरभ्यते. For this purpose, this anuvaka starts. The Brahma, who is the Angi for all the Angas, is to be told where he is available and how to find him. That is why Hridaya Akasha is told. In the Hridaya Akasha, you have to trace him first as the Manomayatvadi Dharma Vishishto. And that one only, when we worked on him, it will be found to be Brahma. That Brahma alone is Brahma behind everyone. That's called Sarvaka. So in this Anuvaka, subsequent Anuvakas, this is the subject. As we see it day by day, little by little, the matter starts to becomes clear. Today we have given the initial push. That which never saw 4-5 days back, 3 days back, yesterday, today we have seen it. Now tomorrow little more addition. थोड़ा थोड़ा ज्ञान को ऐड करते हुए पहले पक्का साधना क्या है. Now our inquisitiveness, our excitement should increase now to go beyond Anna Prana Mano and reach to Vijnanamaya Kosha in the Hridaya Akasha. Then that Hridaya Akasha will be indicated in this Upanishad with Bhashyam, in this Anuvaka. First it will be told physically, thereafter within that in a subtle form. And while doing that, we already get withdrawn from the Sthula. That's meditation. And the most beautiful thing is what? In that heart, when we discover self, he is so beautifully sublime experience of reality that all the gross, subtle, causal gets dissolved or is found to be this only playing this natak. Then the leela of gross, subtle and causal is no more taken as a reality, it is taken only as a leela. For that matter, everything is leela. Like I am so many kgs weighted. Is it reality or leela? It is leela only, not reality. For two reasons. One is one, all this gross matter came from subtle matter. If you go to that subtle matter, there is no weight only. Second thing is what? This weight is relative. On the earth, because of gravitational pull, this weight is appearing. But if you go into the space, astronauts, what is their weight? So that weight which we are considering as so real solid now is understood to be Leela. Though there is a weight. Now with this example of the body made from subtle elements and go to the subtle element, there is no weight. Or the body is having weight because of gravitational pull, therefore it is relative. In fact, if you go to the space, there is no weight to the body. Now all these informations are not making our understanding that the weight of the body is only Leela. Stulata. So too the Stula Sukshma Karana are the never existing, just appearing Leela. The reality is only Parabrahma. And not knowing that reality and taking this as real, not lila, we are caught up in this so really that we are really becoming limited and really suffering every day. This is the thickness of our delusion and ignorance, in which we were bound from millions of lives, maybe from last 7 8 lives. Some or the other gurus are teaching us little by little, we are becoming qualified for it. In this life also, little more added. मिल गया तो मिल गया इस जन्म में, नहीं तो continue. This much today, the main introduction. Keep it in mind. We will develop on it tomorrow. Now the chanting only of this Anuvaka we do. Om Saya Esho Tarahadaya Akashaha Tasmin Nayam Purusho Manomayah Amruto Hiranmayah Antarena Taluke Ya Eshastana Iva Valambate Sendra Yonihi Yatraso Keshanto Vivartate Vyapohya Shirshakapale भूरित्यग्नौ प्रतितिष्ठति भुवैति वायौ सुवरित्यादित्ये महैति ब्रह्मणि आप्नोति स्वराज्यम् आप्नोति मनसस्पतिं वाक्पतिश्चक्षुष्पतिः श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः एतत्ततो भवति आकाशशरीरं ब्रह्म सत्यात्मप्राणारामं मन आनन्दं शान्तिसमृद्धममृतम् इति प्राचीन योग्योपास्व. अब हम समझ में आ रहे ना क्या उपनिषद है, क्या भाष्य है, क्या उसकी सूक्ष्मता है, थोड़ा थोड़ा पकड़ में आ रहा है. ओम 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 ओम. ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां हृद्देशे अर्जुन तिष्ठति. The meaning of all those shlokas is this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Paramanushibhyo Namaha. Parabrahmane Namaha. Shrutimatre Namaha. Tatsat Brahmarpana Vastu. Wait for our Viduraniti for some time.